Hi, everybody. Because of a snow day, we can't do our in-class assignment. So I am going to explain what we're going to do, and you'll need to do this on your own from home. So this assignment is actually starting to write your Unit 2 analysis essay. And the assignment that you completed just prior to this assignment was the analysis essay planner. So if you have not yet completed that assignment, you do need to complete that first and get my feedback on that assignment. So please make sure you do that first. And in the planner, you answered some questions or put down some information that will be used in the different sections of your analysis essay. So you had some information for the introduction, for the summary, a little bit about audience, a little bit about purpose, and then the end of it was a chart where you looked for 2 to 4 pieces of evidence that support the author's argument. Now, in your planner, even though the directions say 2 to 4 reasons, for your final essay, you're going to need at least 3. So in my comments, if you only put 2, I would have given you some suggestions or let you know that you need to have at least 3. Um, so just to clarify that. Now, in this chart, you first figured out the reason. So this is in your own words. What is one of the reasons why we should believe the author's argument? And then for that reason, you're going to find specific evidence from the article that supports that reason. Then you're going to identify the type of evidence that is. And there's a list here of the ones that were listed in our readings. And finally, you're going to determine what that specific piece of evidence is in terms of its rhetorical appeal. Is it ethos appealing to authority or who's giving the information? Is it logos appealing to the mind, giving facts and, um, you know, statistics and that kind of thing? Or is it appealing to the emotions, and that would be pathos? So for example, if we were doing Michael Fisher's article about grades, one of the reasons why we should believe that, grades should not be the focus is that it causes stress for students. And going into the article, we see in paragraph 3 that it causes constant pressure. It sends to complete assignments and also obsessive worry it creates. You could put all of that quote, but you don't want to quote a whole lot of things. And you could also put this in a paraphrase format. Either way, in your analysis planner, you needed to put the location so we know where you got that information. And it needs to be specific, not overall. Just a specific place, a specific point that the author makes. All right, then we're going to say, okay, what kind of evidence is this? Well, this isn't really a fact. It's really not a statistic. Really, when it comes down to it's Michael Fisher's assessment. And so this is really, I would say, expert opinion because he is a teacher and he knows a little bit about this. And so I think that's what we would put here. And then for the rhetorical appeal, it would be probably a combination of ethos and pathos. Ethos because we're trusting that he knows what he's talking about, and pathos because this makes you feel pretty bad for students. All right, so now we can move on to the assignment. What we're going to do is create a CSET paragraph. And let's just look again at that chart of CSET to see what it looks like. So the four pieces are the claim. This is your topic sentence for the paragraph, your point. Setup is introducing the source. Evidence is going to be the specific quote or paraphrase from the source with citation. And then the tie-in is your explanation of the information. So for our assignment, we are going to set up a paragraph. This will be on your own document. And we're not going to do a title page, a reference page. It's not the paper. It's just one little paragraph or even part of a paragraph really for your essay. So we're going to label it CSETDraft Evidence. And then we're going to follow that CSET model using that grid that you created for your evidence. So you are going to be choosing just one of these reasons. You're going to have three here, ideally, and you're going to have all of those in your ultimate essay. But for this assignment, we're just going to pick one of them. And so here I have the claim. Grades should not be the focus of teachers because they cause too much stress for students. Then I have my setup. Fisher states that. And then I have my evidence, which is the constant pressure and obsessive worry. And because I quoted some of it, I have my paragraph number. Then I'm going to have my tie-in. And in the tie-in, you need to discuss both what type of evidence it is and the appeal, the rhetorical appeal. So it's going to be a very short paragraph that you're going to create, and when you're done, you're going to submit that in the link to submit it to Brightspace for me to grade. And this is a 30-point assignment, and so you do want to get that done. All right, I hope that will help you complete this assignment in lieu of doing it in class.